There's something in you, a potential within you that people may not have seen, but that is there. There's a part of you that wants to become something unique, that wants to walk a unique path. You look around and you see what other people are doing, and it doesn't interest you. You were outside of groups looking in as a kid and thinking, I kind of want to be a part of that, but I also don't give a shit about what they care about. And if you have the courage to talk about what you care about, other people seem to not care. And I want to point to that and bring your awareness to the fact that you have the potential to lead people into a world of your own design. When I was a kid, I felt very different from my family and from everybody at church and from everybody when I went to school after I was done being homeschooled and I went to public school. I felt very different from everybody around me there. When I went to college and I was depressed and I was lost and I had no fucking clue what I wanted out of my life, and I was running from myself late at night watching YouTube, eating ice cream, trying to numb the fiery thoughts in my mind, I still felt different than everyone else around me, and I felt like I was the only one struggling. And when I took psychedelics at 19, I started to recognize, okay, maybe I am different, and maybe, just maybe, there's a possibility that my difference could make a difference in the world. And what I recognize now, looking back at 26, and I still have a lot of life left to live, but I recognize that that potential in me, in you, it's going to take a lot of work to bring out in the world, but when it does, it could solve a lot of my problems. There's something within you that you want to bring into the world, and you might not even know it yet. Because perhaps you've never sat down long enough to think about what you really want in life, to sit down long enough to even get an idea of what you want. If you were to go into the woods for a week and camp and be alone and just think about what you really wanted, as crazy as that sounds, you would come out of that with, first off, more clarity than probably anybody you know. But second of all, you would come out and you would recognize, holy fuck, I'm wasting my fucking life going down these paths that other people think are important. Because I'm something unique. I'm something the world hasn't seen yet. I have something in me that the world wants, that the world could grow from. And even within myself, I want to grow. I want to become more. I want to be wealthy. I want to have the kind of relationships where I feel loved and there's love there and I'm able to love. I want to be able to communicate well. I want to be able to understand life. I want to know myself. Like, these are all things you might recognize on that 7 days alone that you really want and that your current life isn't giving you. And I want to tell you that that is available to you, and it's going to require something very different than what your peers and your parents and your environment have told you is possible. For example, when I was in high school, I was in band. And I loved music. I played trombone even though I was better at violin. And then the next year I was concertmaster because I played violin. And I remember sometime during that year, I just started losing touch with music, and I felt like I like making music, but not like this. Not where I'm just playing music that someone else made. And my teacher, Mr. Barr, the teacher, he told me that the only way I could have a career in music was to become a music teacher or to become a professional musician with a specific instrument. And I was like, well, I don't want that, so fuck music. I'm not going to do that at all. So my environment, Mr. Barr, told me that these are my two options. He gave me a limit, which is his own limits, not mine. He gave me some limits on what I wanted to do, my creative genius that was in me, that potential that wanted to come out. And it wasn't until a few years later, after my own solo retreat and taking some psychedelics and reading some books, I started recognizing, wait a fucking minute, I want to play music. But I want to make music that helps people. I don't want to be a music teacher. I don't want to become a professional musician. I want to create music that helps people. And now it's become this journey where I'm now on YouTube, and I'm making soundtracks for documentaries that I love, that I'm making, and also releasing songs that I love. And Mr. Barr, that guy that gave me those limits, he couldn't see that because he couldn't imagine something because his mind, he'd already given up. Because he was a music teacher and a professional musician. So he's like, those are the only options. So when an adult comes to you and implicitly or explicitly tells you, this is what's possible for you, don't believe them. Because how would they know what's possible for you? You're something different.